So good morning, everyone. Today we're going to do a systematic study of case studies. Before we start the case studies, is there anyone whose book review or public speech is pending? Is there anyone whose book review or public speech is pending? Everybody's book review and public speech is done. Fine, then we'll be doing a systematic study of book reviews today. Case studies today that we tried doing once. All right. So what you need to do is, as we already know, that you need to select a case study from the prescribed case studies in our syllabus. We've got a entire list of it, right? So you have to select any one. Better you select something else apart from what you selected last time. If you're selecting for the first time, there is no problem into it. All right. So first thing, you need to select a case study from the list which is given to us in the syllabus. So here is the link. Right? This is the link I've pasted. Now, after you select the case study, you need to go back to our Google shared folder. Now you'll find a folder in Lab Batch C which is titled as case study. Now in that folder, you are supposed to create a Google Doc with your name, and you are supposed to discuss the case study with keeping 3 points in mind. You are supposed to keep 3 points in mind. What are the 3 points? The first point is you need to write down a summary. You need to type out a summary of the case study that you have selected. First. Next, you have to discuss the key issues. What are key issues? The main problems as stated in the case study. The second point that you have to discuss over there in your Google Doc is the key issues or the main problems. And lastly, you are supposed to give your recommendations or suggestions. All right. I hope you have understood. Summary, key issues or the main problems, recommendations or your suggestions of how you, if you were in that place, how would you solve that particular problem. Step number 1, you need to go to this website as prescribed in our syllabus. Select a case study. Create a Google Doc with your name in the folder called case study, which we have already shared for Lab Batch C, and discuss your case study in written form with these 3 main things, that is summary, key issues and main problems, and at the end, what recommendation or solution do you give to those problems that you have identified. I hope I'm making myself clear. Right. For this, it is 9:40. I'll be giving you 20 minutes of time. So let's say around 10:05, we will be coming back and you'll be discussing your case study with the class. Yes, Poojan, I'll repeat it for you. First thing, you have to click on this link and go to the website where it takes you. It's from where we have to select a case study. Remember, on this website, there are many case studies related to engineering branches. You may select any, or I would suggest you go for computer engineering or software related case study. It is already mentioned. Okay, you select any one case study. In the case study itself, you will have a question. But instead of directly answering the question, you are supposed to divide your work into three sub points. One, summary of the case study that you have selected. Two, the key issues or the main problems as you find in the case study. What was the main problem? They have described it. And three, your solutions. Now, when you write the solution, do not write she could find some other way or he would find some other way. We don't want the words called some other way. We want a specific answer. Let's say she can offer some discounts, some vouchers can be added, the guarantee period can be increased, whatever it is. Right? Do not say that they would find some other way. We want a specific solution to the problem that is stated in the case study. Fine. What are you supposed to do? You are not just supposed to write it in your books. Now, when you go back to our Google Shared folder, Lab Batch C, now you will find a folder called Case Study. In that folder, you are supposed to form your own Google Doc with your name. Write the title of the case study and discuss this case study with these 3 points. You are given 20 minutes of time. So let's say I've already taken some of your time. So I'll increase the time till 10:10. You are given time to study and write down the information till 10:10, and then we will discuss one by one in the class itself. So you have to read out your summary, read out the key issues, and then give your solutions that you have thought of. All right. In case you are stuck anywhere, you may always ask, I'm here only. Fine. So your 20 minutes starts now. It's almost 10:10. I hope you are ready with it, or do we require some more time? Do we require some more time, class? Yes. Okay. Thank you, Vartika, for replying. 15 minutes would be more than enough. 15 minutes, I think, should be enough. So, can complete it by 10:25. All right. I'm giving you 15 more minutes to complete this work. I hope we are ready by now. And let's go roll number wise so it's easier. Or if you wish to do it voluntarily, then also it's fine for me. Shall we go roll number wise, or shall we do voluntarily? Whosoever wants to do first. I'm fine with both the ways. If you wish to do voluntarily, that's good because we've got less number of people. Now waiting for calling out numbers and waiting for the absent ones would be not a good idea. Fine, I'll take it rule number wise, no problem for me. Okay, 102, Pujan. He asked me a question and then he's gone. All right, no problem. Then we have got 103, Vartika.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. My topic for today for the case study is onerous favorites. So I will start with the summary first. This case study comes from a computer hardware company called Onerous and is in relation to an established engineer, Anne, and her co-workers. Anne, who has seen enough favoritism to last her a lifetime, gets approached by her non-confrontational co-workers when two new employees are bigged up by the upper management. On a significant project, the newbies were given visible roles and generous promotions at the end of it, whereas Anne's co-workers did not avail any of that. The employees, exhausted by constant displays of such acts, threatened to leave the company lest any actions were to be taken. Anne faces a dilemma on whether to contact the management about it or if it would not be worth it. The key issues that I found from this case study were that in this case, the main problems that was highlighted was that the manage- was that the company and its upper management were playing favoritism and ignoring their already established hardworking employees to give raise and promotion to the newbies. For this, here are the following recommendations. A lot of companies across the board face issues related to this. Personally, I think Anne should speak up for herself and on the behalf of her coworkers. There can be possible solutions and compensations to this if the matter is discussed with the people concerned. As an established engineer, she has proved her worth, so it would be unlikely that her complaints remain unheard if she tries to talk it out. If not discussed, it could lead to more problems in the future and harm the company too. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Vartika. A lot of things that people think in the mind but don't give words to, and then they have to suffer at the workplace, right? So, a very subtle solution to what the problem was. Well done. And I really like the way you summarized the case study. That was also nicely done. So, the next person we have is 106, Naishargi.
My topic was for the copyright concerns. The summary goes like SDX Alliance is a large company which sells computer and computer components and components with its hardware and software. Ralph was a new hired employee. He had worked in the other company before working with this company. His first project was to assist in writing code for a hard disk controller. Ralph had worked in the same project before also in the other company. He quietly uses the previous code in the same product, and thus his manager was shocked with the speed that the improvements gave using the code developed by Ralph. Before the product release, it had to go for a 4-month long quality process. In that process, they came to know about the code which Ralph had used in the previous company. Even though Ralph had developed the code, his previous company still owned the intellectual copyrights. When Ralph was informed about that, he admitted that he did not realize that he had made a mistake because he was not familiar with the copyright laws. The company in which Ralph used to work previously, that company was now out of business, and it was unsure that SDX Alliance would be able to get in touch with the owner of the copyright or not. And if SDX Alliance cannot use the code, then he had to write the entire code again, and which would eventually cause huge delay in the release of the product. Also, there would be a huge loss to the company. The key issues were many of the people who work in the company are unaware about the copyright laws, such as Ralph. Employees who worked in other companies previously to their present companies sometimes write the same work or do the same work like the previous one. Due to this, the people or the employees who are unaware about the laws causes a huge loss and problems to the company which they currently work to. Suggestions or recommendations. I think that the company who hires the employees should let the freshers know about all the rules and regulations that one needs to follow, or they should arrange a seminar on a regular basis or something for the awareness of such laws and rules so that the company might not face further problems in future. Thank you.
Thank you, Naisargi. That was also nicely explained. The summary was good, and the solution that we all require. We all feel that we are upgraded and updated, and the moment you step into a company, you should be knowing is what people think. But in reality, at times we do require somebody to train us and guide us, and that is what not only in workplace situations but in personal life as well. Someone would just assume that you know it, right? That assumption thing should be busted, that bubble of assumption should be busted. So I really like the solution that you gave, that there should be proper training, creating an awareness about things, because you cannot assume that everybody knows everything, right? The same thing that we have been learning throughout the units, right? Wherever we had a presentation, we have discussed that you cannot assume that the audience knows it. You have to go to ground zero and then you have to climb it up again, right? We cannot have assumptions. So busting that bubble of assumptions that people know is one of the solutions, practical solutions that we really need to have. So nice solution that you gave, very practical and out of the practice of things that we have done throughout the uh, sessions for etc. You use that was nicely done. Next person we have is Himali. Himali, would you able to do it, or
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, no problem. If you can do it, you do it, but there's no force on it.
Yes.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Today's my case study topic is a blockchain security. And Data Time is a company which manages database for a large city in Colorado. Including this database is information collected from the city's homeless shelters and free clinics. Um, This database contains personal information of the users, which was provided by the user at login time. If the website is any e-commerce site, then this site database contains users' banking details, which is very important. Also, this contains other details like users' mobile number, address, Aadhaar card number. This data is highly secure in the company database. This data is only accessible to the employees of this company. Employees are given a laptop when they are hired, which allows them to access the database remotely. Unfortunately, if one of these laptop is stolen and the security of the database is compressed, now users' personal information is no more secure. And then key issues, as mentioned in summary, a majority of the people whose information was compressed are homeless. Therefore, there is no easy way to contact them in order to alert them of the security. Then recommendations. Companies should provide unique password to their employees. By using only this password, laptops can be opened. Companies should monitor data and its transfer, encrypt devices and data, set two-factor authentication, and provides limited accesses. Companies should have a data recovery plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Himali. You have also tried to use what we have been teaching and we have been learning in the subject, that you should not always have only one plan, but a little backup as well. That is what you said. And we talked about uniqueness in people, so uniqueness in getting logged in. So that was very nicely done. The next person we have is enrollment number 117, Yash.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. Today's case study is May the Truth Be With You. Summary is Catherine is a new hire at a startup that produces LCD displays for large venues such as shopping malls. Part of her job requires her to troubleshoot malfunctioning displays. One day, a shopping mall reported the two display units out of 12 had stopped working from their installation 3 months prior. The customer also noted serial and revision number on the two units were different from the rest of the unit. At the job site, Catherine inspected the display and realized her company had sold units that were from a bad batch. Catherine wanted to tell the site why the unit failed, but recognized that if she disclosed this information, the site would be eligible to receive a replacement display at no additional cost. On the other hand, if she blamed the failing units on a weaker cause, such as improper installation, her company would be able to charge the site for replacement units. Catherine knew her manager would want her to choose the option that would minimize the company's losses. However, she wanted to be honest with the site as they were on one of the company's best customers. Key issues are the truth hurts, and the truth is a force, not a thought. Truth requires ongoing action. My the recommendation include creating annual reports to examine the state of several First Nation issues, including children in care, healthcare, and education. For example, each province is responsible for its own child welfare system, but certain trends across the country have long been apparent. First Nation children are overpresent among those who have been seized by the government. Annual report that objectively measure these parties can help and fix funding and regulatory issues. Thank you.
Thank you, Yash. You talked about ethics involving over here and trying to find a middle way where the company also does not suffer quite a loss and the customer is also not at loss, kind of a thing. And that's what we have to think. When there are only two ways, you have to think of a third way. That's what we have talked about when we are talking about creative thinking, critical thinking, also involvement of ethics through three angles involved, and then finding a way. So nicely done. Thank you. The next person we have is enrollment number 118, Kevin.
Yes, ma'am. My topic is trouble with training. A summary. In this ethics case, a woman displeased with her work role at a computer hardware company. One woman, her name is Sari. Sari has been working at a computer hardware company for over 25 years. In recent years, many recent college graduates, approximately 4 years per day, have been hired into the company. This year, three new hires were introduced into her group. Occasionally, Terry must train these hires by leading technical workshops and giving one-on-one advice. However, she feels that instead of growing from within, the company has spent a lot of resources finding young and talented employees to increase its development of new products. Although she is not manager, established employees like her must often assume responsibility for this hire. Sherry is unhappy because she feels that the times used to train his new employees could have been spent completing her project. Key issues. You can't please everyone. Give them a reason to show up and a reason to stay. Recommendation. Create a learning path. Include soft skills training and take learner analytical seriously.
Thank you, Kevin. The training part that you pressed upon, and you specifically mentioned what kind of training. So, soft skills training. So, you're very clear about how things should work, the clarity that should be there, right? Training, but which one? The soft skill, right? So, that was very nicely done on your part. So, next person we have is enrollment number 119, Keur.
My topic is violation of privacy. The summary is a computer engineer is asked to divulge private medical data for marketing purpose. In the topic, Marcus was a computer engineer and he developed an app which stored the data about user medical information, doctors' appointments, and prescription. All the information about users' health is stored in the data. Marcos and his company are access this data. The marketing company requested to him to give the data to marketing company so they can better target user to show ads and app. Marcus is feel that it was part of company, but also feel that it is a violation of user data. After that, Marcus feel that he is responsible for his data. Key issue is data security, violation of privacy, and user information privacy. Recommendation is this stealing and manipulating of private information by malicious attackers and commonly known as privacy violation. Passwords, certificates, credit card details, social security numbers, address, mobile numbers, and email IDs are usually targeted in these malicious attacks. Privacy concerns exist wherever personally identifiable information or other sensitive information is collected, stored, used, and finally destroyed or deleted in digital form or otherwise. Improper or non-existent disclosure control can be root cause for privacy issues.
Thank you, Keyur. That was also very nicely perceived how you can work about and the that that boundary that we should set for how much to disclose, how much not to disclose, the privacy part that we had learned, respecting the privacy that you brought into this case study. The case study is titled such, and you looked into it in that way. That was nicely done. The next person we have is enrollment number 120, Shubham. I think he is not there. All right, no problem. And then the next person we have is enrollment number 121, Shubham.
Hello everyone, today's topic of case study is May the Truth Be With You. The summary of this case study is Catherine is a new hired at startup that produced the LCD for large venues. She working as a troubleshooter of malfunctioning displays. One day in a mall, two displays unit had stopped working at the job site. The Catherine inspected the displays and realized her company had sold that units from a bad batch. If she tells consumers about this unit failure, they are eligible for replacement at no cost. And if she blames minor reasons for a failure, company will charge for replacement. Key issues: if she tells truth to consumers, they will replace it without paying money, and if she tells company about this failure, they won't allow consumers for no cost replacement. The minor issue becomes the major problem due to company's negligence. Recommendation: the company should have to test every unit in the meanwhile time, as the inaccuracies of the company to they had not been check product unit. They have to allow the consumers for replacement, and may the truth be with you.
So that was a good use of the title towards the end of your case study that you have worked about. All right, and you also nicely explained how things should be going in what manner. Right. So with this, we complete the case study section. Now, why are we doing this? We've already done whatever theories have told us. We've already worked about the theories, but this is remember every subject has its own practical aspect. Right. Most of our work has been completed. Like we have completed unit 5, and you have only one more unit to go for this subject, and we'll be completing the syllabus. Right. So we're trying to practice. Why? Because there's a component of Viva which carries 10 marks. There's a component of Viva which carries 10 marks that is pending and for the completion of the subject. So what can happen over here is I'm trying to help you with practicing and preparing for the Viva part. The way in subjects like mathematics, they ask you to solve a problem or a sum. Similarly, in this time in the Viva for effective technical communication, people might ask you or give you, okay, this is the case study. I'm giving you 5-7 minutes of time. You study it and you talk about it. They'll not tell you what structure you have to follow or how do you discuss a case study. So we're trying to practice and we're trying to find a way out of how we can work along when there is a Viva. All right, when there's a Viva, you may be asked that, okay, you have a case study. University has prescribed you a case study. I'll select one for you. This is this case study, and you I'm giving you 5 minutes of time and then you explain it to me. So this is how we explain it. This is how we break it into pieces. Because as a person who's going to assign you the work, he or she might have read the case study, might not have read the case study. Right? Assuming that the other person knows is not what we are going to do. We are going to go from ground zero to moving upwards. All right? That's what you are supposed to do. That is why we are practicing all these things. I hope in this lab batch, most of you must have completed your book review. See, I already have a list with me who has done it when. Right? I'll not be catching hold of people that why you have not submitted. You should be worried because it carries marks on your mark sheet. Right? I hope you have also submitted the Coursera course certificates as well as the cover letter and resume, which is also going to give you marks. And now we just have 10 marks. If you see, 20 marks for your Coursera certificate, 10 marks for your book review, 10 marks for your resume, and then still there is 10 marks pending. 50 marks is what we, if you look back and go to the orientation PPT, 50 marks is what we have to do while working, right? So 10 marks for Viva. Now we have completed case study, and I see that most of you have not written the letters, which I've already assigned to you. A few of you have done it. That's excellent. Some of you have not done it. Kindly work on that as well, because we require you to practice. The more you practice, the better you would become. Right? The better you remember things. While you were giving your case studies, I've already marked the attendance, so do not worry about the attendance part. In the next week's sessions, what we will try to do is, we'll be trying to practice how you are supposed to speak and perform in the Viva, an outline or a guideline. Okay, you are free to select the way of doing it, but a system which one needs to follow is what I'll be helping you with. Right? Let's say, madam, how do we start? What kind of questions would be asked? How do we answer if somebody asks question this, that, whatever, right? So what you are supposed to do from your side is, you are supposed to prepare a list of questions that you think that can be asked in the Viva of this subject. All right? A few general guidelines and tips I'll do. Then a list from your side you will prepare. We'll be pairing up people and we'll be practicing the Viva. Right? The way we practiced mock interviews, we'll be practicing the Viva. In case you don't want to ask a question, I'll be the devil's lawyer and I'm still there. I'll be asking everybody questions. Okay, that's my job. I'll do it. Right? But let's see how somebody asks a question and how you answer it. That's what we are going to do in the next lab session. In case you are still pending to do your book review and are you still pending to do any other work in terms of the assignment which are going to give you mark, please drop a message to me that, madam, for this reason I'm pending. Few of you, I know that you are pending, and the reason also I'm aware. In case you have not informed me, please inform me that this is the reason we are not doing it. A few of our classmates have been very consistent throughout the semester. They have not attended lab sessions, especially enrollment number 134 and 144. So I do not know how to communicate to them. I'll be putting things in the group as well, but you know, they are your classmates and you are in touch with them. Please inform them their work is totally incomplete. These are the two people who have remained consistently absent throughout the sessions. All right. So with this, we call it a day over here. Right? We call it a day over here. We'll stop the session here. Next week, what we will do is we'll be practicing our Viva questions. All right. I also plan to practice in case I'm not sure whether the university is going to take the final exams in what formats. I'm thinking of having some practice session for that as well. All right. So we'll call it a day over here. Thank you, class. Have a nice day. Thank you.